Guys, me llamo es Enrico Strauss, and I am the host of Talking with Famous People, and also the guy whose name rhymes with Schmerich Schmaus. So, pretty important stuff. I'm feeling pretty good today. I feel like on top of shit, accomplished, interested in things. Well, not accomplished, but like I'm accomplishing things. I don't feel accomplished. That was the wrong term. I feel like I'm accomplishing things. And it doesn't really matter even if the things I'm accomplishing right now are showing tangible results of any sort that are positive, as long as the things I'm doing right now are different than just the same things I've been doing. You're here now. Thank God. 966. I've got to be in the running for a wrench at some point. I'd say 2 more years. The thing is, there's no good thing about getting a wrench. People think they want one, but why? The only way that a wrench works around here is there'll be that occasion when I go like, I wish you weren't so quick on the trigger with that guy. Did that really deserve to be timed out? The only engagement wrenches get with me is me second guessing their decision making. The only advantage to it is you can post a link. And the best way to get a wrench is to have an authentically worthwhile link to post that's very relevant to what's being talked about, and tell me that, and then I'll go, well, let me make you a moderator temporarily. And then depending, eventually I might forget to unmoderate you or forget to unmoderate you, and then have sort of a unspoken, unofficial probationary period where I see if you can handle it. Some people can't handle it for very simple reasons, like they keep accidentally butt deleting people and shit. If Rachel wasn't my beloved wife, she would qualify as one such person who's not qualified to be a wrench, but only because of her multiple instances of accidentally butt hiding people or stuff like that. In general, I like my moderators to err on the side of not doing anything. No moderator ever gets their chops busted for not doing anything around here. They only get their chops busted for doing things. It doesn't mean that though. You're not literally one of my guys. For example, I might have made you make somebody a moderator because I have come to trust that they need that to put links periodically, and that they're not going to use it for anything else. That doesn't mean you're one of my guys. It just means I understand why you need to be a moderator, and it's consistent with your authentic behavior across time. Butt hiding. Yeah, that's like if you, like sometimes Rachel, I'll be like, live streaming like this, and I'll say, Comedy Flu was hidden by Rachel Strauss. And I know it's like, okay, she did not do that on purpose, obviously. There's no way she would have hidden you for just saying butt hiding. But so therefore, every time Rachel hides somebody, it's an accident. She might time somebody out if she's a if she's doing the streaming herself and somebody's being offensive or whatever, she might time somebody out. But if in fact I'm streaming, she's, even in that context, she's very unlikely to take action. She figures I'll take action if I want to. She might sometimes, but regardless, she's got infinite rope to play with. because obviously she's my wife. Thanks, Donald. So she gets special treatment. I'm not planning on voting, actually. I'm not going to vote for either of those two people. Trump? No. Kamala Harris, I can't believe how much she's made me hate her already. And when I started with knowing nothing about her, and what's made me hate her? Her TV commercials that she's been running here in California, which are not aimed at me, obviously. I'm not going to waste my vote. I only vote for somebody I actually want to elect. I refuse to vote against somebody so that I get the lesser of two evils. I will not do that. I will only vote for somebody that I actually believe in and want to be representing me. Everybody seems to think it's a good thing to vote. Voting is not a good thing or a bad thing or anything like that. It depends on how and why you vote, and it's probably better for most people to not vote at all. But most people don't have. If people are humble enough to recognize they're not equipped to be voting, then they're probably equipped to be voting. So there's the catch-22 there, the paradox. I don't even need to think that both of them. I will run for office, Stephanie Carter. I'm going to be running in 2028. I'm going to run for president. I doubt I'll win, but I'm going to if I have sufficiently built up this platform, so I've got a little bit more name recognition, maybe that I can launch a realistic campaign that plans to raise campaign funds and travel across the country speaking at various locations, as many as I can book. If I can make that happen, then I will. And I will be running for president in 2028. One of the things I need to do before I do that is I need to get my teeth fixed, right? Well, I don't need a lot of donors to start running, Mustafa Shamin. In fact, in order to formally launch presidential campaign with the elections people, what is that called? Federal elections, something. I don't know. To officially launch presidential campaign with that body, it requires you to establish a bank account for your campaign and get $5,000 worth of donations. Keep in mind that could be from myself even. So it doesn't require a ton of money to launch a real campaign. It takes a decent amount of money to run a real campaign, but mostly what takes money is advertising. So if I want to run a real campaign that involves booking a lot of speaking engagements, trying to talk to as much press as possible, and does not involve buying a bunch of advertising, then I can do that on a relatively small budget. I'd still need donations to pay for things like traveling across country, staying in hotels, to give speeches various places, engage with people, etc. Well, I do think I will likely have to run as either a Democrat or a Republican to do the job seriously, to campaign seriously. And I don't want to do it either, but it really doesn't matter which one I run under because I'm not interested in their party at all. I'm interested in being correct and being a good patriot and being the best leader for the country. And I do not care about your team. I think your team is a huge part of the problem of what's going on in the country. Yeah, go ahead, Alec. This thing was titled, I will answer all your personality type questions. I don't need a pimp or a daddy to control my life. Why do you? Home of the brave. Why do I need a pimp or a daddy to control my life? I don't believe I do. Why do you think I need a pimp? Why do you think that I think I need a pimp or daddy to control my life? Well, yeah, a karma's pimp. Getting the word out will be difficult. The thing is, if I wanted to run an old-fashioned speaking engagement style campaign, um, and book as many engagements as I can and try to talk to as many members of the press as I can, etc. It's also the case that I'm still going to need money. The more money I can raise at these various engagements, then the more I can advertise. I think Kamel's an ESTJ, but I really don't know for sure. What do you think about the quote that says, lower minds discuss people and events, higher minds discuss ideas? I think it's a the misuse of dimensions, to reference an earlier video of mine. There is no height dimension to minds. So, depending on the situation, the right thing to discuss can be either nothing, people, events, ideas, or something else, right? We don't get to say that this conversation about ideas is higher or better, superior in some way, to somebody else's conversation about what kind of oatmeal to get. Because this conversation right now that we're having about ideas, these words that I'm saying about ideas, this represents what I want to do. So is it should be judged against other examples of its type, I guess you could say. Like, is this a good example of discussing ideas? Is there good intellectual work being done here compared against other examples of discussing ideas? Comparing discussing ideas to discussing oatmeal or discussing Bob is silly because, like, this, I'm making a live stream about discussing ideas. Discussing ideas is appropriate here. And specifically, it's about the ideas about personality type that the title says I'm discussing, right? I think it would be, switching gears abruptly here, I think it might be wiser to run as a Democrat. I'm probably a little bit more of a jarring juxtaposition against the Democratic Party than I am against the Republican Party, although I contrast against each of them starkly enough. In other words, I'd rather run in the party most people are more likely to think I don't belong in. And I think more people are, probably it'd be pretty close split. You know, conservatives, Republicans tend to think I'm a Democrat or a liberal. Democrats and liberals think I'm a hardcore right winger. Libertarians think I'm a statist. Statists think I'm a libertarian. So I'd like to probably run as a Democrat accordingly. Democrats, they have more people who just naturally vote Democrat without thinking, really. And such people are also likely to not look too seriously or have any real meaningful criterion to judge whether somebody represents their party or not, right? They look to their party to tell them what the good guys believe. Do you think an independent candidate can ever win presidential elections ever? Yes, I do. But I think it's possible. But it's I mean, the problem is the presidential campaign begins and has chosen its serious contenders by the end of, begins at the beginning of, and has finished choosing the serious candidates in the election of the primary season. Primaries are things held by parties. They're not things that you can hold for yourself. Like, well, I want to be on the primary ballot in the Eric party, where the only choice is Eric. And you don't need a primary election to pick your candidate if your only candidate is Eric, right? Unfortunately, the way the American media cycle goes, it starts the process at the beginning of the primary process. And so by the end of the primaries, anybody who's not been in the conversation that whole time is basically out of the conversation. And that's why you kind of do have to run as one of the two parties. So the thing is something I lament periodically, but I'm sometimes gratified by a comment or something like I was today. Something I lament periodically is that I'm correct. I have something to offer that's unusual in it's a rare thing in general, and that this is a top-notch example of, right? So it's the best of a set of rare things. It's rare for people to be correct. People, by and large, aren't particularly interested in being correct because being correct is not anybody's specific interest, right? It's the alternative to anybody's specific interest. But it's possible for an independent candidate to win the presidential election provided he began essentially an ad campaign that keeps pace with the amount of coverage the Republican and Democratic candidates get in the primaries. Well, Mustafa Shamim, remember that there's a difference between independent candidates and third party candidates. So, in fact, if you want to sort of bypass the problem I articulated, you could run for a third party, in which case you do have a primary. And all the people who are registered in that party get to vote in that primary. The problem is that there are too few people registered for those third parties, and too few of them even, vote in the primary for that party. But some of them may. And third parties are historically even less viable than independent candidates. Ross Perot, who was an independent candidate, was the most successful non two party person, right? I'm not worried about what's good or bad for democracy, okay? I am worried a great deal about what's good or bad for a free and civil society. That doesn't mean I'm poo pooing the democratic process. I think that obviously when we have a society, the rules of which are dictated by and enforced by a government, then it's best when that government most represents the actual populace rather than some sort of aristocrat. How much old lady poon have I slain in my poon slaying career? Well, the oldest woman I've been with was the girlfriend before Rachel, who was the same age as me. I've never been with anybody older than me. That doesn't mean I was against that necessarily. It just didn't happen, you know. What Gator? If what you mean is I traded in my 71 for an 85, then yes, you're right. I also traded in my villainous horrible for a wonderful lady of specialness.
I think you're a wonderful man of specialness.
And I want to stress, I would not use that term villainous horrible about my previous partners in general, just about that last one. Um, Even the first wife who cheated on me, I just think of her as, you know, like like nature's factory lines defect product. She's just fucked up. She's not exactly evil and villainous. I can't help but think of Kimberly as evil and villainous because she was so bad to me. She just abused me so much, you know? All right, so regarding this correctness thing, does correctness lose its utility when it lacks impact? Well, see, here's the problem that correctness has, Alec T. What I bring to the table is a uniquely, powerfully validatable and desirable, good, a particularly good example of correctness. So, in general, when people bring correctness to the table, the problem is they aren't correct. Almost everybody who brings correctness to the table is going to be incorrect, actually, about some things. But I would say that it's interesting that nobody else claims to bring correctness to the table, it seems to me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like once you drive a Honda, you just won't drive any other car after that. INFJs are like Hondas. I've actually never driven a Honda, but I mean, I've driven one I've driven my friend's Honda one time, but I have not owned a Honda. So, what good does correctness bring when it lacks the desired impact? Well, that's exactly what I'm trying to get at here. Well, thanks, Bob UFO. What can I do when I bring something that is fundamentally so valuable, potentially powerful, and also fundamentally so undesired? Because the reason people don't like correctness is that it manifests in two ways. One, it manifests as, okay, I gotta learn something. It's like class. Jesus. Here he goes on with this complicated shit. It's just like nobody wants to listen to your boring ass explanation. It's like, yeah, I could have learned about I forget what a combinatrix or whatever the guy said, where he was asking the question about how many different permutations there are of this thing with these rules, and you have to use factorials, and this is what a factorial is. And I could have learned from that, right? I would like to have learned from that. In theory, I like learning new things. I didn't understand how to do that math problem. I don't really care that much, but I did understand the question, and I could have understood the explanation of how to do it, and I could have learned something from that. If it had been super dead in the chat and nobody was saying anything except for that guy, that probably would have been how it played out. As it was, more than that was going on in the chat, and I was distracted by various things. My attention was pulled multiple ways. I couldn't direct my attention enough to learn what he was trying to teach me. So, okay, that's one reason why correctness is undesired. Because to attain it, if you don't already have it, it's time for you to learn. The other reason links to that same thing, but it's a little different. The other reason is because correctness, it's delivered in, at best, a friendly teacher way. More likely, kind of just dry, let's get the information out. Or even more likely, like, I'm frustrated by people's wrongness, blah, 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 blah. Or in some other instances, just smuggery, pedantry, whatever. It's difficult to be likable if what you have to offer is correctness, because if what you have to offer is correctness, then what you really have to offer is pointing out where other things are wrong. Okay? And the people who can benefit from that most are the people who currently cling to those wrong things. So they're going to feel personally attacked if they're like most people and not entirely detached in terms of their person and their arguments, They don't entirely detach the persons and arguments. It was just an example, Gator. I don't necessarily think Hondas are great cars or anything. It was just an example. Hi, Jesus Christ. Is it okay if I call you that? It sounds like I'm using your name in vain, but I don't want to address you as anything other than your name, Jesus Christ Almighty. Careful of showing Disney logos or products or characters on your stream. Disney Enterprise 5 is striking and removing live streams as we speak. Oh, really? I don't think I show any Disney stuff. I don't have any Disney stuff, you know? It has something to do with the current lawsuit with them and the guy's wife they killed. Who? Who's they? They're talking about Disney? Right, well, you're making those allegations, not me, so. Go into the woods and 1v1 Bigfoot. I have been looking for Bigfoot ever since we moved here. Oh, they is in Disney. I mean, I wouldn't put it past a corporation to do something like that. After all, just look at what eBay did because they didn't like those people's newsletter. There were a bunch of suspicious deaths regarding whistleblowers on some aerospace thing not that long ago, too. So I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility. But I would say that I'm not worried about Disney coming to get me because I don't care about Disney at all. Don't talk about Disney. Don't have Disney stuff. I'm not an annual pass holder, okay? Or as the employees call them, pannual ass holders. I think Disneyland is the most boringest place in the world. And I think that Disney has done a terrible job with their management of Star Wars. Like, oh. So somebody takes over Star Wars, and you're like, okay, let's hope this big, well-funded corporation can get some actual talent to make some actual good shit, you know. And then they just give you that, it's just horrible poo. That's not Star Wars stuff, Disney. You're just, oh. You've ruined it completely. Just forget it. Just forget it. I don't even want to even think about Star Wars anymore. You just ruined it completely. With endless amounts of drudgery and schmudge. How are you, Uncle? They cannot legally dispose of you. So what's a better alternative distraction to correctness if it's so ineffective? Okay, well, is it so ineffective, right? The thing about correctness is it's just because it's not popular and it's not necessarily well received in the moment doesn't mean it doesn't have impact. The nice thing about correctness is that it manifests in a static form, namely recorded words that somebody could listen to later on that I don't know about or whatever. But additionally, words echo in people's heads, right? And just because, and this happens with me all the time, just because I'm not responding positively to what you're saying right now doesn't mean I haven't been massively influenced by what you said and it impacts me in the way that you want before I actually make that decision that we were talking about. Okay. I don't necessarily like to be corrected any more than other people implicitly. I recognize it's used more And I also won't necessarily tell you later on, oh, hey, when you said that, you were totally right. By the way, I know I didn't give you that response in the moment, but you were, and I remember what you said. I thought about it, and you were right. I may or may not do that. Probably not most of the time, because I'm just not keeping track of shit like that. But not that much anyway. But so there's that factor when you bring correctness, okay? But here's the thing: correctness in a political frame plays a little differently. So, like, in the current political frame, you have a job as a politician before you can go any further. Your current job as a politician before you can go any further is to make it clear that, and we as a country need to not stand any longer for the kind of bullshit that those guys over there are up to. So you need to do that first. And then everyone goes, which guys? Oh, yeah, he says Biden, Clinton, they're the bad guys. Yeah. Or the other person goes like, oh, he says Trump, the devil, whatever. The Republicans the bad guy. And then you can have your riled up base, right? Your grassroots beginning. Where you've got emotionally engaged, outraged, true believing people volunteering for your campaign and launching the whole thing and making it happen. Unfortunately, those aren't the people we want involved in the political process. So as far as the politics of outrage go, I think there's room for correctness in the political frame, because everybody is so accustomed to being outraged, experiencing outrage, condemnation, negativity, etc., that correctness almost seems mild by comparison, even though it's not siding with anybody. That means it's also not siding with the wrong people at all. What other frames can we be correct in? Well, then the other main frame in which correctness matters a lot is it's explanations. Science, you could say, but explanations is the best word. So, like, we can have either correct or incorrect explanations for things. And then it's also the case that we can be correct or incorrect about how much certainty we should have regarding the correctness or incorrectness of that explanation. So things like that also welcome a correctness frame, benefit from a correctness frame, but aren't necessarily receptive to it. Well, they made it a point to explain it to the one Disney franchise that apparently catered to them. I don't know what you're talking about exactly, but it's fine. Go orange, Jesus. Apparently so. But still, if you have allergies so severe that they can kill you, then maybe avoid eating out. More people need to smoke weed. I don't know if more people need to smoke weed, but I am one person who needs to smoke more weed. And I already smoke quite a bit.
Yeah, we smoke for everyone. It's just like, I feel like that's how kind of recreational drugs are. Like,
thank you for the clarification, Gator. Keep the commands, obey your conscience, and take time daily to hear from the Lord. All right. So do you think it's possible that there are people that wish to be correct in frames of correctness that don't exist? Yes, I think there are lots of instances where people want to be correct in areas where it's not subject to that kind of parsing, right? So, like, I remember when I was young and bad at being in relationships compared to now anyway, how often I told my first wife Like, no, you need to stop saying and referencing what you feel. That's not relevant here, right? But in fact, that was relevant because the stuff we were talking about was how to be together stuff, right? And of course, her feelings were relevant. It's not a place where correctness is a good frame to use. So in my relationship with Rachel, Rachel may say things that if there were a third party standing there going, is what she just said correct or incorrect or something else? I would say it's incorrect. But I don't bother to correct her. I'm not going to do that because that's not what my relationship is about. Now, if it's something that I think like it's a simple correction, it's not a critique, right? It's like oh, actually that was Ingrid Bergman, not whoever. Then I'll correct her if as I hope she would correct me a simple factual mistake like that, right? But I don't, when she says something like, these two celebrities have good compatibility according to numerology. I just go, okay, that's cool, that's interesting, or whatever. I'm not interested in invalidating her holistic, intuitive ways in favor of my TI ways because we're not talking about things as a position statement per se. We're being two people with our respective interests and ways, neither of whom has a claim to a better way. And plus, I want Rachel to be happy because I love her and I don't want to criticize her. Remember the old expression, criticism kills love.
A lot of times I don't take that stuff seriously. It's just a subject that I look up.
The point, I guess the basic point I'm trying to make is very simple. It's not really about that. It's just that I'm not looking for ways to negate, disagree with you, or criticize you in any way. I'm not looking for opportunities to do that.
That's if that happens in a relationship, I mean that takes an emotional toll on the relationship in my mind.
Yeah, it's not healthy.
Do SE Doms come off as what the hell is that mean?
I think it's a hateful comment that's intended to hurt your feelings, but she's, I don't know, either so dumb or so young that she can't spell anything at all correctly.
I don't know what it even meant.
I know, that's how badly spelled it was. So we just leave it at that.
Okay, so SE Swagness. The only SE swag that I don't know about ESTPs. Like, I'm not even sure I've ever dated one. Like, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm not sure. I think there's actually a higher chance I date an ESFP, but I'm not really sure. Fucking don't know.
Here's SE swag. Well, I guess I'm not the only one here, Alon. What's up, I'm Eric.
It's so like that, yeah.
That's SE swag. Walk into a room, stranger, go to a party, you don't know anybody there, right? Just your friend's supposed to meet you here like a little bit later. Looks like I'm not the only one here, Alon. What's going on, girl? And it's Eric, yeah. And then you got to make a lot of motions like this. Another way you could say SE swagger would be like, you're on like your second date, let's say, and the topic comes up. The game comes on in the restaurant, and the girl's like, "Oh my god, this is the most exciting playoff series. If we win tonight, it's Game 7. Could you imagine being there for Game 7?" And then, like, by the end of the dinner, the guy under the table on his phone has somehow gotten tickets for Game 7 tomorrow. That's SE swagger too. That takes money and trigger pulling and just, that kind of shit, right? Of course, you don't have to have swagger just to pick up chicks. Could be just swagger that's not chick specific, but it's easier to come up with examples of chick specific swagger. And of course, there are SE chicks too. I'm not saying that you got to be a dude to have SE swagger. Like, remember that scene from Cobra Kai where the guy is sitting here and an SE Dom lady who's just like him comes over and sits next to him at the bar and knocks over his beer. She goes, "Well, I knocked over your beer. I guess that means I'm going to have to buy you another one."
Oh, I don't remember that. Yeah, that is.
That's SE swagger.
Yeah. But even it's true, like, my roommate in college, V, she came up to me first and was like, "Oh my god, hi, like, I remember you from this one time."
Go ahead. Sorry, you
okay.
got distracted by this.
It's okay.
Continue.
It's just like we shared a like acting class together, and she like did that whole like, "Oh my god," like coming up to me, and like we were assigned a project to do like in a group, and she saw me and she immediately like ran up to me.
I've not heard about this before.
Me either.
I mean, the problem is you don't have to stand there and take the boiling water being poured on you. That's true. You don't have to do that. But there are other ways to avoid that, such as backing away than shooting her. I get the cop doesn't want boiling water poured on his head. He can back the fuck up. Right? Just because she's using some kind of a weapon, like a stick or a squeegee or a pot of boiling water, doesn't mean there's a need to use deadly force. Even if the cop can claim somehow that it's legally justified, which he should not be able to, unless it was the only way to avoid getting the water poured on them, right? But that's their job. I get it that they're in the moment and they have to make split-second decisions, but that's their job. And their number one priority in that instance ought to be to avoid the loss of life, not just to protect themselves from harm. Otherwise, they shouldn't be cops, right? If they're not willing to prioritize preserving life, avoiding loss of life, avoiding use of deadly force, unless it's absolutely unavoidable. Like, I saw a video here in Mariposa County where the sheriff's deputy shot somebody who had a knife. This person chased after him with the knife for quite some distance, with the cop backing up and going, "Don't stop, you better stop, I'm going to shoot you," quite some distance. This is with a knife, before finally he shot the guy. It was justified in that instance. There was another video I've seen of a cop who's being chased by a guy with a samurai sword who's doing the same thing, right? Trying not to shoot him, because that's what the cop should do. If once he's determined there is genuine, serious threat to my body, or well-being that I cannot avoid without using deadly force, then use the deadly force. Okay. But if there are clearly alternate ways to avoid getting hurt, and especially if the thing that's going to hurt you does not qualify as deadly force itself, then any use of deadly force should be the absolute, should not enter into a cop's mind until he's determined that, oh shit, I can't back up 5 feet. I'm stuck against this wall. She's gonna pour this boiling water on me. I'm gonna get third-degree scalding burns. Shit. Even then, I'm gonna shoot her in the leg. Something, There needs to be a conscious, continual effort from people who want to become police officers to prioritize preservation of life and the non-use of deadly force. Okay? So they have a greater responsibility to incur some risk to themselves before defending themselves than regular civilians do. And we need to remember that and not treat it as the other way around. Right. And the other thing is we have to get rid of the idea that it could have been is a justification. I didn't know is a justification. Well, I didn't know what that could have been is not a justification for anything, right? Ignorance is not a justification for your bullshit actions. That's not the instance here, but so I think the bottom line is I would love to be a person who was a supporter of the cops, like said, yes, that cop shot that guy, but it was necessary because, of course, cops are the last to use deadly force in society. Any regular citizen would have long since used it, but cops have such great restraint that they're the last to resort to deadly force. That's what I want to be the case. It's not currently, and so I have to be critical of them because I don't want to. I'd like to respect law enforcement. They're fellow citizens. It's a very civil society way of dealing with things until and unless we militarize them and additionally criminalize a bunch of shit that's not a crime, then we have problems. Why did I do this for? Oh, that's not what I was trying to do. All right, so let's see what's going on here. DWAP, thank you for your kind words. Gator says that she called them to search her property for supposed stalkers. Well, sounds like she was a little bit crazy, but that's another thing. Cops got to deal with crazy people. Rachel got in a psychotic break at one point. What if the cops were like, this bitch is crazy and just shot her? Right? Because she wasn't obeying them enough or some other bullshit. I'm sure she was a huge pain in the ass, Gator, Sound is this case is where your comment lands. Comments relevant to Eric's dialogue are pushed upwards and out of view by users having long conversations with others. That's fine. I go back up and review what's going on too, okay? So the thing is, now that I'm on to Alec T, I'm going up and seeing what else he said. Eric's aura training session. He's referring to my SE swag demonstration. Making people laugh is more fun. I think making people laugh is my favorite thing in the world to do, but I don't think that qualifies as SE swag. Chat always does this, where they have these random conversations inside chat itself, and then whatever's relevant to Eric's thing gets pushed out of the view. Damn these chatters, says Alec T. Personally, I appreciate it. Gives me many things to look at and talk about. First time I saw that video, I was like, uh-oh, brother man is going to prison for that one. But given there's no sound, it's kind of like them doing it in another room and faintly hearing it as opposed to being the same dinner table, I think, Alec T. Well, first, last, it becomes audible when I read it out loud, as I just did. Then we got to these nice comments by DWAP. Mixed Style Records asked, what are we talking about? Right now, we're talking about what we're talking about. DWAP says, bro spits bars. I do spit bars sometimes. There is sound. Sound, in this case, is where your comment lands. Comments relevant to Eric's dialogue are pushed upwards and out of view by users having long conversations with other users. Take back our country. Andrew Simple. Take it back from whom? The other Americans? I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris either, but I am a fan of civil language. How about you say fluff Kamala Harris or fudge her? Okay? Then I won't remove the comment. But I don't need that kind of dirty talk when we're talking about politics. Trying to be somebody in the service of civil discourse. Conveniently indeed, Eric is able to change discussions quite comfortably, able to pick up and put down subjects very swiftly and deftly. So it's almost indetectable that he was just derailed by random statements, sometimes more detectable than others. What is up, Eric and Rachel? Says McKenna.
Hey, McKenna.
The sky. Have you heard Tater Tots Tasty Spots? I have heard it. Tater Tots Tasty Spots is not Gregory in disguise, though. Unacceptable methods are sometimes necessary for the goal. Spoken like a true utilitarian. Alec, you're doing it again, bro. Oh, I get it. Only you were allowed to because you're more important. I don't think Alec deserves to be hammered quite that hard, okay? He's not said a whole hell of a lot. He's just made observations about the realities of the dynamics of an active chat, right? You got some people talking to each other, and that it can have the impact of, he's just in about shit. You don't need to bust his chops that much. He's not even making a lot of claims. All right, I'm going to get a new filter. You may or may not know this, because you may know that, like, cigarettes that one purchases usually have filters on them, right? It's this cotton stuff or fiberglass, the kind of filter. It's between the tobacco and your lungs. With a water pipe like this, the water in the pipe is supposed to function as that filter between the plant burning and your lungs. But the truth is, it's not a particularly effective filter because it doesn't have a lot of water that it goes through. Just a little bit of water that it goes through, and then it doesn't have a lot of time to get whatever dirtiness is out of the water. But this is an excellent extra filter you can put on the end of your bong. What is it? It's one of these things that girls use to take makeup off with. I bought a pack of them for this purpose. And except for the fact that I always end up with cotton on my lips, they're great. Have I ever felt that I was able to make correctness attractive? Absolutely. When I coached a debate, I had debaters who wanted to know what the most effective way to win rounds was. That's all they cared about, right? They cared about winning, not about correctness. I could make correctness very attractive in debate class because what makes correctness correct is that it is superior argumentationally, that it wins the argument. Right. I kept having this phenomenon where I'd get this horrible resin taste on my lips as it would gather there. The resin would after a certain amount of bong riffs. And finally I was just like, enough! I need a solution to this. Does it make stop the flow? Oh no, it doesn't. I probably don't even need to poke a hole in this, but I do poke a hole. Like this. I get a new one, and I'll poke a small hole in the middle of it. But probably would still work without a hole, but I'll just put a little hole there. All right, now this is the littlest amount of hole I've ever put in one of these. We'll see how it works. We take a scoop. This is ground already, so you don't need quite as big a scoop of ground as you would a piece of bud, right? Because the ground up is smaller surface or smaller volume occupying than the non-ground one. No, I'm not doing any drugs. I'm just doing a demonstration of Eric's patented makeup removing, brownness removing, filtration, and lip protecting device. Mike Hunt says, hello, beautiful lady. You are God's given. Can I take you out for Indian dish or something like this? You cannot take me out for Indian dish, Mike, nor for something like this. Partially, I might fall in love and marry you, and I don't want my last name to become Hunt. But secondarily, because I'm already married to the most wonderful and beautiful lady of all, my wife, Rachel. You usually just smoke the fruit. Don't smoke fruit. Eric, you once categorized work in two different ways: project-based work and maintenance work. What then would you call jobs like the job Rachel had as a counselor? One's about being dedicated to people. When she was a camp counselor, you'd call that maintenance work. What you call it a compilation of instances of project work and maintenance work. So like if you have to every day update the attendance sheet, that's maintenance work. If you'd have to do that as a counselor. If you have to initiate activity 4 to occupy these hours on these days for this long, that's project work. You have to come up with the activity, you got to figure out how long it's going to take, that kind of stuff, right? And then you've got to, when you completed that project, it becomes something that you could repeat, but you're done with it in theory. You could repeat it with the next year's class or something. You could also divide kinds of work into what I used to call executive and constructive. Executive being ordinated, constructive being everything else. So you think the other people's jobs are the same? Teaching, therapy, church work, psychology, nursing. I mean, the thing is, people's jobs are mostly constructive rather than executive. You're not executing a plan when you're dealing with another human being, usually. Although there may be like structured protocols that are ordinated like that in doing so. So let's say you go to the doctor. The nurse is going to be doing an executive thing. They're going to execute a series of steps. They're going to take your blood pressure, they're going to weigh you, they're going to write these things down on this piece of paper, okay? That's executive work. Then the doctor is going to do constructive work. He's going to assess, ask questions, listen, feel around, develop changing opinions as new data comes in, make determinations about what data he wants to get, and make determinations about what matters are eliminated as possibilities, etc. That's constructive work. So keep in mind, these are just taxonomical dichotomies I'm making here. They don't really, in and of themselves, represent a real distinction in the way that an intentional manner represents a real distinction. Instead, it's more like introverted, extroverted, which is not really a full blast real distinction, unless it's being used to describe functions. Then it is, but when it's used to describe people, it's not. Rachel.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Rebel. Packed with people, only 4 registers open. They had numbers called for people to head up to the register. Oh, the dispensary in Vegas. Would you mind taking over for a while?
Sure, not at all.
It was nice listening to Johnny today in the car. Huh?
Yeah. It really was. He's got the good stuff. Hi, everyone. I am going down a rabbit hole because someone mentioned Lena Dunham yesterday, I think. And hey, William. And I'm the trading, yes. Yes, I am. Hey, McKenna. So I'm like looking up like Lena Dunham because I'm like curious about what the cast of the girls is doing now, like what they've been up to. Yeah, so that's what I was just doing. How many did you guys watch Girls at all? The show Girls on HBO. I really liked the first season a lot. I liked the first season a lot. The rest, it kind of like lost its magic for me a little bit as the seasons went on. I think season 5 was good.
I can't see what I'm. Okay, there. That's more in the middle. I'm trying to get you in the middle of it,
Ever heard of it? Okay, so it was like on HBO. It was just called Girls. It was on HBO in like 2011. It started, I think. Yeah, 2011, and it's about millennial girls living in the city, New York City, and the characters actually aren't very likable. What makes you enjoy a show? What does a show need for you to like it? So I like a lot of I don't know. Like I like Mad Men because of the complex characters, and I like learning about the 60s. I watched it with my dad who like lived his teens.
You like Naked and Afraid?
Yeah, I like Naked and Afraid.
What makes Naked and Afraid a good show?
The realism, like the suffering and stuff, and like seeing if the two people are gonna stick it out together or not, you know, like that's like a real,
and how their personalities, whether they
yeah,
clash or
or
work together.
yeah, because sometimes like the people on Naked and Afraid, they'll like, it's very much like a sociological thing for me, actually, now that I think about it. A lot of reality TV shows are like sociologically, um I'm interested in, because sometimes you'll get two people who like just do not get along in the beginning, and then somehow they make it work, you know, which is fun.
Uh, Gator, these people are not humping each other because when they first get off of their truck for the insertion, then they might look clean and sexy or whatever. But like literally 4 hours
Yeah.
after they're dropped off,
No.
they're both completely filthy.
You're right, Raul Reader. I mean, it's not a color, so I try not to say it's my favorite color. It's like it's a shade technically. If I had to choose a color, probably blue. I have a lot of blue, but
Black's a color.
I like black. Yes, I do.
If you're not gonna call it a color, what are you gonna call it?
They call it a shade.
That's
I believe I'm autumn. I did a chat GPT, like I took a picture of myself and I did my color codes. I learned from KE that you can take a picture of yourself, edit it, like go to the editing page, find out the color codes of your eyebrows, your forehead, your nose, your cheeks, your chin, your lips, your irises, and a couple of codes from your hair. And it'll tell you like whether it's warm or cool. And I have peachy pink warm skin, rose colored lips, and I think it changes its mind on me, ChatGPT. So I don't know. I definitely know that I'm an autumn, but I don't know. I used to think I was a winter, but I was born with blonde hair, so most winters are like, they don't have they're more, they don't have like, they're not as warm in their hair color. They're not usually blondes, I don't believe. I could be wrong. um I don't know, like it's interesting, Alex T. Like I, if it was free, I totally would, just because I like that sort of stuff. Um but like some of me like is like, is that like true? Like is it real? Like, or is this like sort of like fooey? You know, I can't tell. It just drives me crazy. And ChatGPT like tells me different, first I'm a deep autumn, then it tells me that I'm a soft autumn, and then it tells me that I'm a warm autumn, and it like it'll give me different answers. I ask it all the time, like, because I want an answer. And I'll take like pictures of me like with lipstick and stuff, and I'll be like, hey, this is a deep autumn lipstick, how do you think it looks on me? And it'll give its opinion, like, while the color berry is very is a statement maker, it seems to overpower your more warm, softer shades. I mean, that would be fun. I would definitely do it if it was like given to me as a gift, sure. um because I really do want to know. I want to know my color palette. It doesn't mean that I won't change like my, like I'm definitely going to keep on wearing black like no matter what. ChatGPT is fun. I'm starting to get bored of it though because I don't have any more questions to ask it. Like I've asked it my Kibbe body type, my Kitchener essences, and like sometimes I get different answers, so I have to keep on asking the same questions. And I'm starting to like.
You should ask it which of these various paradigms should you prioritize over the others, or is it plausible, and if so, preferable to to amalgam them all into a big mush of yes.
Wait, what should I do?
Should ask it like, look, I keep talking to you about this kitty body type, my autumn, winter, summer, my numerology, my meow meow meows. Which of these frames ought I prioritize over the other ones, especially if they come into conflict? And or is there some way that you can organize the high points of all these things that are consistent with each other into a tapestry of yeah.
Yeah, I have to ask it what like I'll always say like if it'll give me one one Kibbe body type that I keep on getting, which I think I am, is soft natural. But I had to ask it like multiple times and then tally up which one was the most. I'm jealous if you're autumn though, because that means you have nice oranges and browns in here. That's funny, Alec T. Like I don't like brown. I don't have browns, but I do like green. So, what palette are you? Are you a summer? Yeah, but what did your palette end up being? Summer, classic summer. None of the colors you like. Doesn't classic summer have blues in it? And can't you wear gray? Yeah, it will endanger a lot of jobs. Honestly, though, I did numerology, like Eric's numerology, and it didn't get it right the first time that it did it. I had to prompt it like 3 times to get it right. Um, so like there are certain jobs that I mean, it's only getting it more intelligent, but yeah, I don't think that every job. Yeah, ChatGPT you do have to pay for. Yeah, I wear the grays, but navy's not in right now, so the clothing companies don't have navy clothing that looks cool. Ah, they're all doing black. Navy's nice. I think that's one of the colors that or deep teal is the blue that I can have. I don't have many blues. Blue is reserved for summer and winters, I believe. Although I think spring has the most fun. They have a lot of bright colors. I can do olivish greens too, apparently. Apparently. Like if I stick to green, it's in the autumn type, as long as it's not like bright. I believe, as long as it's not bright, it's usually more earthy tones, is what ChatGPT said. It's interesting because I have pink overtones, like I was thinking about that. I was just gonna look it up actually, Alec T. I was gonna ask ChatGPT like, is it common to have like can a person have pink overtones and warm undertones? Because that's I have very peachy skin. Yep, Eric is also chatting. Why do you want to be modded? Asked you. Yeah, it's gold that I should be wearing, not silver. Although I wear, so like I'm wearing this gold, but I do wear both. Like my ring is silver. My wedding ring is gold, but my engagement ring is platinum. What do you think? Do you think the silvery color looks better or the gold? I tend to like gold better. Who you calling honey? Does he have bye? Thanks, McKenna. Yeah, I think gold looks better on me too. Gold is better, Desi? Well, gold is regal, but I mean, it doesn't, like, I don't care if it's regal on me. I just want to know which one looks better on my skin tone, gold or silver. White gold is not, it's the same color. It looks silver, yes. White gold does look silver. So is black eyeliner best for autumn or brown? Brown. And I love black for my mascara. It goes better with my skin tone. Thanks, McKenna. I took Adderall and I smoke weed. I don't. I'm really not. Like, I really don't look that high.
You neither look high, nor sound high, nor seem high. Desi is just being a piece of shit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna time him out for 5 minutes.
My eyes are brown. I can actually, let me get the exact color that ChatGPT says it is. Colors.
Colors. I'm IT, and I'm rapping about colors.
Colors. I do have dark brown. What do they say? What does it say? Irises. Your iris colors and your eyebrow color fall within the deep or neutral warm shade. However, the depth is not as intense as what you might see in a deep autumn palette. Yeah, like for a long time I thought it was a deep autumn because some people say that Natalie Portman is a deep autumn, but then I looked into it and then I used an app called Style DNA and it said that I was a soft autumn, and then I was like, I had like soft autumn lipstick that just kind of blends in with my skin. Like it's fine if I wear a bold eye look, but it like my on its own, it doesn't do enough for my skin, so I think I'm a warm autumn. UFO white gold and silver different in color and composition. White gold is an alloy of gold mixed with other metals such as palladium or nickel. It's often plated with rhodium to give it a shiny. Yeah, it does look white. Silver, on the other hand, is a pure metal with naturally bright, shiny finish but can tarnish over time. White gold typically has a warmer tone compared to silver, which has a cooler, more neutral hue. But it is not like it's not like this, right? It is like this gold. It is more of like a white, like if to the untrained eye, I believe white gold could look like silver.
Okay, I want to tell everybody this. Yeah, we're gonna suggest a prompt for a video generated by AI. So you tell the AI video what to generate a video of, okay?
Okay.
put it in the chat. I will put it into this AI video generating thing that I have, and we will look at what it looks like. Okay.
I actually like gray a lot too. I don't like white. White I get stains on too much. I mean gray I get stains on too, but I like wearing gray.
So if you want to do this, just put AI like that, like this, and then put whatever you want to say after that. So like, you know, AI, a dog and a cat, meow, 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 or whatever, you know. I'm hooked up to pre-gablin. Which I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I've never even heard of it before. It's a painkiller of some kind. Is it like an opioid? I don't know. You're gonna have to ask somebody more knowledgeable about that.
Lyrica?
Giga Bowser versus Optimus Prime battle. Okay.
See, like white is so difficult to wear. Like some people who are like more type A love wearing white because they like, you know, they don't have accidents with spilling stuff, but like I like always spill. Like when I got stuff on my dress, I don't know what it is that I was wearing before. It's not an opioid, it is a neurotransmission.
Okay, I've asked AI Tubo video app to begin generating Giga Bowser versus Optimus Prime battle. That's the prompt I put in, and I asked for a 10-second long video that has a height of 768 pixels and a width of 512 pixels. If you'd like, while we're here, I could show you a previous one that I made, such as an older woman scowls at a younger woman. The younger woman is eating asparagus at a diner. And this is what it looks like.
Oh, it's so creepy. What? That's so.
You can also make it with
Her
sound.
eyes.
This one doesn't have any sound. You can AI generate sounds. Like I did one that was on a beach. I AI generated the sound of water and seagulls.
It's so funny. It's so creepy. Just like, whoa.
This one, I said, an anime-style wizard casts a spell on a very large three-headed monster. They're in a large cavern. And this is what it made. You can see it, nothing like what the prompt says. You know? That's not what's happening here at all. A lot of things morph into other things in these AI videos. So they have different engines you can use here. Some of them are specific for some things more than others, right? This is the one I did with the seagulls in the water.
It's so bizarre.
It's weird, huh?
So bizarre. One turns into an old lady, and it's like.
And the original prompt was 24 modestly dressed women running down a narrow strip of sand. On either side, old men clap and wave. That was the original prompt. You'll
Hey,
notice that it did get the sand and women running, but that's about it. Oh, here's the Optimus Prime when it's done. I guess I should add the sound of battle to it, huh? Let me add the sound of battle. All right, well, let me try this. I'm going to use the same prompt. I'm going to, what is this? I'm not sure what these are, but I'll click this. And then I will click the sound. Where's the sound thing? I don't know. I will go ahead and get to another prompt that people suggest rather than try to do anything else. Did anybody else do one of those? Let me look. If you follow the instructions, I should know. Hi, Lester Lorenzo Trucking. Can AA generate that woman hitting the other woman with asparagus? Okay, every week you can get $6,000 at Lester A. Lorenzo Trucking LLC. Good for you. I would like to get that job maybe. Maybe that's a good job for me.
it could be.
Let's see, anything else here I desperately need to address? Alright, so there's been a request for women fighting each other with asparagus. I'll try it out.
Yeah.
Two women hitting each other with asparagus while sitting in a fancy restaurant. Right now, let me see if I can find the audio thing.
I wouldn't quit. Like, I've quit my medications before, and like it. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know what you should do about that statue. Definitely bring it up to your doctor.
Is someone suggesting that you quit your medications?
Sasuke's not sure about.
Whether he should quit his?
Yeah. He was hard, honestly. I can't really answer that, like, because like even though I do take medications, like I don't take my Prozac every day because I don't feel like I need it every day. But it's prescribed to be taken every day.
How do I do the audio thing? I want to do the audio thing. I don't know how.
Yeah, talking to your doctor is best. I'm nervous about like telling my doctor that I don't take my Prozac every day. Like I feel like I should be like open about it. But I get nervous talking to doctors because I don't like to get scolded.
He won't scold you.
Because I truly don't need it every day. I take it when I feel like I need it. Like.
And if you were experiencing harms from not taking it, I would see and understand those harms.
You would.
I'm gonna add a little audio to this one when it's done. The sound of dining, and then the sound of asparagus slapping skin.
I wonder what it's gonna.
This says a lady with a big hat oversees a number of men who are planting carrots in the garden.
It's so weird how her face changes. So weird. Like her face totally changed.
I know.
Where are the guys are in the back for a moment. Yeah.
So it lets you do certain styles. So I think I did a certain style for this one, Whereas this one's just sort of supposed to be photorealistic. I could add sounds to this one even. Dining.
Oh, you're abusing it? Because it's not prescribed? Like, how are you getting it? Oh my god, that's so weird. They like merge into each other. She takes the asparagus from her chest.
All right. So, well, let's see what this one sounds like now with the sound.
Oh my gosh, that is so bizarre.
Okay. Now here's this one. It also has sound.
Oh, they shared it. Wow. And they're sharing a drink. They're very intimate. What is AI thinking? Did she say excellent?
I don't know. She said, eh. I don't know.
Weird. Okay.
Do you have a prompt you want to do? You could turn it around to you now if you want the camera. Oh, then until there's
another prompt
video to show.
Okay.
I'm about to bust right now. Well, then perhaps you should stop typing and focus on your penis.
What should the next prompt be?
Building a relationship might involve socializing with his community, meeting potential partners through friends or family, or exploring online dating. It's such a non-answer answer by the AI, typical. It is kind of a non-answer answer.
Yeah. But honestly, sometimes ChatGPT gives like good, like You could have a conversation and ask good questions. I'm gonna have ChatGPT draw a picture of me, generate a picture of me, and it doesn't look. They never look anything like me. Now ChatGPT says that I'm a soft autumn. I don't know. It could be. Okay. So I'm gonna have ChatGPT. I'm gonna have ChatGPT generate a picture of me with this picture, using this picture. And I'll show you what it gives. Please generate an image of me. It always looks like some fancy glam girl. What? It used to be able to do it. Now it's saying it can't directly create an image of you based on your photo. It used to.
You can do those sort of things with this. You want me to do a video with you in it? Let's see.
Yeah.
Rachel walks over to a drinking fountain and sips some water. Okay, so let me see where I need to add the thing. There's a seed thing, right? Where is it? Look back here. Here we go. Upload image. Oh, good. Do you have a particular picture you want me to upload?
Can you take it from Google Photos? Yeah, there's like, you know.
Okay. Goofo. One of these?
Yeah, one of those. Things is pretty basic.
This one?
Yeah.
What?
Why do you think it's so? There's problems with the way the TV's mounted. I mean, we didn't do the mounting. It was
it's perfect. What are you talking about? It allows you to turn it a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's like a little turned right now.
It's a little turned this way?
Yeah, it seems
so. That's because of last time Cameron was here, I turned it like that. I could push it back.
Oh.
It has some play that in those directions.
Yes.
It's meant to.
Yes.
Okay, so.
Okay, so we're gonna use a picture of me.
What?
Oh, wires everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Why is that the case? Nobody knows. Why did it zip it? Shouldn't have zipped that. Just one photo. Bullshit.
Why is it doing that?
I don't know. Download video.
We don't even know where the stand is. It's such a big TV.
Now it's not doing it.
Okay, that's good.
So now I'll go here. Oh, this is a video. That's why I need to get a picture of you, not a video.
It's a video?
Yeah.
That's not a video. I took a
It's
picture.
not a video?
No. That's so weird. I'm sorry
Why
that
are
it's
you-
like being so annoying.
Oh, that's fine. I just want to know why the fuck. No, it is a video.
How?
All right, so I need to go get a different photo.
Oh, you know what Apple iPhones does? It takes multiple photos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what I'll do then is
So-
this. It's fine. I'll just use this to grab it like this. Fucking Apple. So dumb.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we'll do it.
Cool.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now it says upload a video to face swap. I'd rather generate? Upload an original video. Okay, so let's upload a video of me then, and it's gonna face swap you into it.
Okay.
So for example,
It's getting
let's do it
spicy
this
in
way.
the chat.
Oh yeah, is it?
Yeah, it's a little spicy.
We'll put the names.
That's
of the-
actually you. Hey. Hey. Oh, here.
Sashi
It's in
says
here.
AI is trash for that very reason. Now see this.
All right, here. Upload video.
Well, I'm pretty.
Too long. What's wrong with it?
So if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious. So if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious. So if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious.
That's good.
So if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious. So if you're a fan of the
Okay,
strange, dark, and
shush.
mysterious. So if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious.
Let's see if it puts Rachel's face on my body.
Oops. Oh my god, that's so creepy! Oh my god, that is so creepy.
That's weird.
Oh my god.
That combination of you and me.
Yeah. Now we know what like our 50-year-old kid would look like.
Crazy.
That is.
Okay. I'm not sure if I can upload it here or not. It seemed like I could before, but I don't see it now. What's this?
Yeah, that's what someone looked like all grown up. Exactly. You old and grown up. What the heck is going on between Great Scott and Sashi? And Bobby Whiffle? What's going on with you guys?
What is going on with you guys? Don't you know anything? You're not supposed to know unless you know.
Look how sensual those like women are. And they don't mind their hands going through each other.
Well, I'll just use this. See what it generates.
Okay.
Prompt is Rachel walks over to the drinking fountain and sips some water. And the negative prompt is dogs. I mean, don't include any dogs in this picture.
Okay.
So, I've not tried the negative prompt before.
Phil McCracken, do you have any ideas for something that we could prompt for a video, an AI video? We're looking for suggestions.
Oh, seed. What is seed? You want to fix a generated result, fill in the value of the corresponding seed here. What the fuck does that mean?
Okay, Gator says setting a dimly lit bar with few patrons scattered around. The jukebox plays softly in the background. Jesus sipping from a glass of water. Vishnu, my friend, you might want to reconsider this.
Okay, I will copy and paste it. That's too much.
That's too, yeah. The one, I think the one prompt is fine though.
Maybe you just take the first part of it.
Yeah, the first part.
Okay, let's see what this one. I have to wait for this one to finish first.
Gator, you're getting your wish, but only the beginning of it because it's too long. But thank you for the storyline.
I think the most almost like a regular video I've ever gotten with this is this one with these ladies with the asparagus.
Oh.
But even that, it's nothing that's actually like a regular video.
So bizarre.
But like you could imagine this eventually being able to use to generate meaningful stock footage, right? Like corporate lady looks over approvingly at underlings, you know, work. People use that shit for stuff all the time. Here it is.
That's me.
Yeah, well, it's not based on any picture of you, though. It didn't.
Drinking water from a water fountain.
I
no!
love playing in the water.
Me too.
Oh my God.
I'm holding my cup and I'm drinking it now. Oh, I'm spitting it out.
Oh. Let's see. Laughter. Water splashing. And background conversations.
After Gators, First Last has a AI setting.
Okay. So, I believe we are doing Gators now. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so we'll do this prompt. Is there anything you'd like in the negative prompt part? Let's see. I like this one better as a prompt, Cater. An Italian version of Married with Children set on the Starship Enterprise. I think that's a better prompt. Can we do that one instead? Since the other one was from you too. Let's do this one instead. I like this one better.
Yeah, I was just gonna say capitalized married with children because
Okay. An Italian version of Married with Children on the Starship Enterprise. But on the Enterprise from Star Trek. I'll put quotes around it. Okay. Instead of Realistic Vision 5, we'll go back to Dream Shaper 8. And obviously we don't want any birds. Generate. Now, while that's generating, we can listen to the audio enhanced version of this great video of mine.
that is so weird.
I gotta upload these things as shorts.
Oh my gosh, definitely. Because they're so weird.
AI fails at drinking. AI fails at asparagus. AI fails at eating. AI fails at monster fight.
Yeah.
AI fails at farm oversight. I could just, AI fails at ladies running. That's still generating. Brush your teeth, says Grace. Got my teeth are all brushed, they brushed a lot, and I don't think that I want to go brush my teeth right now. I'm just yanking your chain about the bed thing, but could I come in maybe like December? I've already got a large trip planned before then. You're talking about coming to stay with us at our house? That's plausible. Not implausible. Or you're talking to Sashi because you want to go to Kathmandu. Well, we don't live in no Kathmandu, all right? Just get over it. Get over your Kathmandu before a cat man chew your face off. This one's still not done. Okay, well, if you want, you can hand the camera back to me, and I'll put the film on me and handle this part. Thanks. Hello, everybody. It's me again. You might remember me from such previous moments as before. I'm warning you, I'm a geek and a homebody. I would host you, but you'd have to show yourself around. Can we generate the Incredible Hulk but replace all the humans with cats? Handsome fella. That's me. They voted me in high school most likely to one day be deemed a handsome fellow. All right. Now, we are going to check out the adventure that is this AI video. Let's see. Let's see what it says. Let's know what it does. Is it done yet? No. Still not done. That's fine. Fine. You take your sweet time generating an Italian version of Married with Children on the Enterprise.
Detailed,
that is a lot of
that's
detail.
very specific.
I wish these videos were a little bit better than they are. You know, like
They're not great.
you really can't use it exactly for anything. Except just, you know, for jerking around, I guess.
Yeah.
Create new project. I'm trying this other one called Veed. Let's make a video. Start with AI. Make me a video about the reasons why there are only 4 dimensions really as we currently understand the term, but how there are actually 8 dimensions if we define a dimension as that which allows statuses to be determined and communicated conferred onto physical or metaphysical objects and thereby are rendered communicable. There. Let's see what it does. Go ahead. Generate the video. We'll see what it says. See if it references my earlier video. That'd be interesting. All right, see what's going on here. Casabianca t-shirt. That's right. I was also looking at that. It reminded me of a streamer who has the name Sashu, titled Eric the Handsome Fella. In the picturesque town of Brooksville, where rolling hills met vibrant meadows, lived Eric, known far and wide as the Handsome Fella. His striking features, and charming demeanor made him the talk of the town. But Eric's true allure lay in his kind heart and unwavering humility. Eric owned a quaint bookstore at the corner of Main Street, a place filled with the scent of old leather and the rustle of pages. It was here that his charm and generosity truly shone. Every afternoon he'd sit by the window reading stories to local children who'd gathered. Brooksville, and despite her efforts, struggled to fit in. I seem to have missed one somehow. Maybe it's because I'm on Top Chat. That was foolish of me. Brookville, and despite her efforts, struggled to fit in. The townspeople, charmed by Eric's warm presence, had often spoken of him as someone who could make anyone feel welcome. Eric, noticing Sashu! God, I lost the story now.
What happened?
Because Sasha was like, ask Eric this something or something terrible.
Oh my god, no one does care about that. I never would. I want Eric to do what he wants to do.
What is your question? I did promise to answer questions. So I probably should answer questions.
That's true.
All personality questions answered. Unfortunately, I didn't put a space there, so it's just a misspelling as far as YouTube's concerned. Just a misspelling. Yeah. Just a misspelled way to meow. Okay. Live chat. We'll put it back on live chat. No, actually look better, 10 times better with the beard on than with the beard gone. You got to trust my judgment on that.
I also like that, like, we would not change my attraction to Eric. That stuff doesn't, like, I find Eric handsome, period. He can do whatever he wants with his hair.
In our current understanding, we perceive 4 dimensions. But what if I told you there are actually 8 dimensions? By defining dimensions as the ability to confer statuses onto objects, we unlock a new perspective. These dimensions allow for communication of both physical and metaphysical attributes, expanding our comprehension of reality beyond the confines of traditional thinking. It's a mind-bending concept that challenges our perception of the world around us.
Not the way you say it, dumb lady. That lady just ruined my whole thing with her smushy, schmarmy meow. Just shut up, lady. That seems like pretty horrible. That's the thing about all AI things, right? They're horrible in the same way. They do things like that unlocks a new perspective. Just stop.
Yeah, stop.
Why is this taking so long? Oh, it's finally
What?
done. Okay, let's add some sounds. Okay.
Why is that guy naked in the beginning?
Electronic noises. And conversation about space. About science. About astrophysics. Okay. I'll put, instead of electronic noise, I'll put electronic beeps and boops. beeps and tones. Okay, a conversation about astrophysics with electronic beeps and clicks and beeps and whirs in the background. Okay. So now I will show you this video. Remember, the prompt here is an Italian version of Married with Children on the Enterprise from Star Trek. We're going to have to wait a few seconds for it to do its generated audio. There, it's done. Okay, let's take a gander at what we got here.
Look at that. Like, what is that? Oh my god, this is so weird. What is that? And like her hand goes to like cover his junk too. That's so weird.
He doesn't. It's like he doesn't really have anything there. He's got like this proto junk.
Yeah, it's like Ken from Barbie.
Yeah, it's kind of like Ken. Except somehow it's way more pornographic.
Yeah, really.
Like,
Oh my god.
like what?
Why? Why is he naked?
Like, why do they give him like a little vagina almost? You know, like, if they're gonna make him just
Yeah, flat. That's fine.
Who knows why they do it?
I know. What is going
Because
on?
when did Married with Children, the show, have anything to do with being naked?
Doesn't.
Okay, I gotta download this one.
Yes, you do.
I might download this one as well. I might try uploading these as shorts, you know.
Yeah.
See how they do. Download that one. This one's the wrong dimensions for a short. But it might still work. I like this thing's kind of imitation talk that it does, you know.
Yeah. It's so I don't know what to say besides weird. It's just strange.
It's kind of shocking, this one, like, you know.
Yeah, it is. That's shocking.
Because I guess that's the solution they came up with for, well, we don't want it to generate actual genitals.
One question. One question.
That's a conversation about vegetables?
It doesn't sound like anything.
One question.
It's so weird how it morphs.
One question.
Weirdness.
So weird.
Download that. Okay. You have to download this one. I should add some audio to it. Robot battle. Let's see what their audio robot battle sounds like. If it sounds like anything. My dreams are far more insane. This is just taste. The more weird part is that you'd allow me to come. You don't know me. The Napoleons are very welcoming. I mean, if you know, I'm sure they'd want to have a conversation with you before you actually can. It's so strange because it's just like it's kind of like the sketch of like oh, you know, this is like something that might be, but it's not actually something that would ever be.
Yeah, exactly. It isn't something that it would ever be. Not if it was made by a real person.
Right. This is similar to something that might be useful in some capacity, but is not itself actually useful in any way. So I have used up a lot of I've actually paid for this thing. Might as well get some uploads out.
Yeah, you might as well.
You can only get it you pay meow amount per month, but you can only get it in a minimum amount of 1 year. So I paid for a year of it. And who knows, maybe I'll get some views with these ridiculous AI videos. But I put text on it like AI fails at meow rather than just letting it be itself. Get a snappy title in there or something. AI can't I might have to I don't know if I have to blur that or not. It's not, what is that? Would I have to blur that, do you think?
You might.
But what am I blurring exactly? Okay, I made this video. I gave it some prompt, okay? This is a different thing, a totally different video maker. I gave this one some prompt and it made this video for me.
What a sight. There's a dog, a scruffy little thing, standing proudly on the back of this enormous turtle, its shell glistening under the sun like a massive ancient shield. The turtle, slow but determined, is chasing after 24 women, all modestly dressed, their skirts fluttering as they race down the wheelchair ramp. It's a bizarre parade, a surreal blend of chaos and whimsy. The women, their faces a mix of confusion and laughter, glance back at the turtle, their pace quickening as if they're in a game of tag with nature itself. The dog, oblivious to the absurdity, barks joyfully, tail wagging, as if it's the proud captain of this strange vessel. Who would have thought? A turtle, a dog, and a gaggle of women, all caught in this unexpected chase. It's a reminder that life can be delightfully unpredictable, a dance of the absurd that leaves you grinning.
What was the actual prompt for that I put? Like, what was the original prompt? I don't remember.
I don't either.
But it was something like a dog stands on the back of a turtle and is chasing around modestly dressed women or something. 24 modestly dressed women or something like that, you know? And it made this strange ass video that it's like it makes everything suck ass in like in a certain kind of way that I hate so much. It's trying to be writerly.
Yeah, it is.
I just hate it. Like this thing.
What a sight.
No, like this part. It's a bizarre parade. It's a real blend of chaos and whimsy. Oh, shut the fuck up. I hate that kind of writing.
Why? What kind of writing is that?
I call it writerly.
Oh.
Like it sounds like somebody trying to be writerly.
Mm-hmm.
So. Okay. Well, that's enough playing with the AI. That's enough. Do you think Kamala would be a good first Black Indian woman president? No. I don't. I just had to make it me a metal melodic melody that slaps. So I'm gonna not be playing with the AI anymore for right now. Although I probably will be getting those videos to Google Photos so I can get them on my phone so they can upload them as shorts. Upload from my computer. Let me go to downloads. Okay. These bad boys first. Pia. Open. This is a good picture of me and Rachel here.
Yeah, it is.
To get this picture, Rachel stood on a chair.
Yep.
That way we look like we're about the same height.
Mm-hmm.
But we're actually not that close to the same height. The horrible, horrible truth is our appearance has been lying to you this whole time. We are actually different heights. Rachel's perfectly suited to stand next to Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that would make him
They'd be
look
just
good.
the right height.
He wouldn't have to wear any
Lifts
shoe
and
lifts,
stuff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she didn't get with Tom Cruise. Unfortunately for him. I think it's fair to say not unfortunately for her.
Yeah.
I don't know who would want to be with Tom Cruise exactly.
Katie Holmes did for a bit.
She was with him. It doesn't mean she wanted to be with him or found
Really?
it satisfying or anything. I don't think she
She didn't
did.
find it satisfying at all. Like in the beginning, I think, the rush of it got to her, but she snuck out of there.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine the actual day-to-day of it? Like you get up and what's Tom Cruise say to you? Good morning.
Such a great day.
Are you psyched? I'm psyched because we've got a hell of a day planned.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And then she'll be like, oh, I was thinking about wearing this dress.
That's loser talk.
Yeah. Or like,
Katie, we talked about this. Can't you just picture Tom Cruise being like that?
Yeah. Supposedly a terrible father. Doesn't visit his kid at all.
Rain, the answer to the question is no. And the reason it's no is because we're here to argue about whether it should pass, not whether it will. If you agree that it should pass because my arguments have won this round, then that's sufficient to vote for the aye. So since your job is to affirm that this should pass, and then in the debate, if your opponent says, but it won't pass, therefore vote for me, the aye should say, I'm not affirming that it will pass, I'm affirming that it should. Hey brother, how are you feeling tonight? Says at the cross scripture. I'm feeling well, thank you. Vanessa Kirby is a very good looking lady. She's in Mission Impossible 7. Can't think of her face or anything. I'm not sure if I've ever seen her. But I'll take your word for it.
Mhm.
I'm not in the habit of checking out ladies.
I really appreciate that. A lot.
I already have the best one.
Aww. Like,
You mean that big family Bible? I mean, it's not for sale, I guess. There's nothing in it that's specific to my family. Even it's the only thing that's in there that's specific to my family are the photos. They never actually wrote anything in the family Bible stuff because those family Bibles they've got like space for weddings,
Oh,
funerals,
really?
deaths, stuff where you're supposed to list your family shit, right?
Aw,
But that Bible doesn't have anything written in it at all.
that's so weird. So it was just to have.
I mean, I think they probably got it planning to put that stuff in and just never did, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Because, like,
I don't know. It's like, obviously, we brought a shit ton of, like, personal memorabilia stuff that's from family, like family photo album, right? And we brought a bunch of stuff up here with us like that. And obviously, I wasn't going to just toss that family Bible because it was with the
No.
family stuff. It wasn't with, like, random books, So we brought it with us. But I'm not super attached to it or anything. The family stuff was the pictures I'd take out of there, maybe. Besides being such a big family Bible, it is ultimately just a Bible with a bunch of extra stuff like essay by this guy, page to list your births, essay about the apostles by that this other reverend, things like that in it,
I never knew. So, like, that's what the family Bible's about, huh?
Yeah. I guess what family Bibles are supposed to be about. Yeah, they're supposed to
I didn't know that. I just thought it was like a family Bible because it was in the family. I didn't know that it actually took.
It was a pre-digital ancestry.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to walk outside for a sec. I'm going to explore the wilderness for a moment. I'm going to share in nature's bounty. I'm going to clap nature's cheeks. If you're familiar with the Gen, what do you call it? Gen Alpha? Gen Z?
Oh my
No,
God.
Gen Alpha. What's the
Oh my
Gen
God,
after
Gen
Z?
Alpha?
Yeah, if you're familiar with the Gen Alpha lingo, maybe that's Gen Z. I am clapping nature's cheeks means I'm going to hump nature.
Oh,
That's what the term means.
I thought it meant twerking. That's the
Clapping cheeks is like the sound made when you're humping somebody like from behind.
I know, but I automatically thought twerking because that's my generation.
Yeah, well, you're Old millennial,
Yeah, I am.
not a young Gen Alpha person like me.
Oh my god.
That's why you're so skibbity. You were born in 84. Rachel was born in 85. I was born in 71. It was known as the year of the Eric. 1971, the year in which Eric was born, came to be known as one of the most important years since 1970. There's the moon. You can see it, you can know it, you can love it. But don't try to touch it, because that's assault. Let's walk around in the dark. You might not be able to see anything, but the reassuring sound of my voice will make you feel safe anyway. What do you think? Is it a little too spooky for you, or are you going to be okay? There are no lights outside because outside is where nighttime lives. That's why. You do the same thing on your stream at 3 in the morning. Well, it's not 3 in the morning here. It is, looks like 10:15. It's pretty good. 10:15. I gotta go pee. At least you won't be able to see me pee because of the darkness. But also because I'm going to point the camera away from me. Urine. Ooh, ah, ooh. Would you like to make some urine? Ooh, ah, ooh. Would you like to pee outside? Whoa, 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 closer. Meow, meow, meow. Won't you pee inside my ear? Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're the one I want to hear. Tell me why? Tell me that it's human nature. Why? Meh, 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 meh. You might be wondering, what exactly is human nature? Nobody knows. That's why Michael Jackson sang a song about it. The only thing we can say for sure is that it's a combination of that which is not normally considered nature, namely human endeavor, and that which is normally considered nature, namely nature. You might say it's the ultimate oxymoron. If humans were considered nature, then everything would be considered naturally occurring. And we can't have that. We have to distinguish between man-made objects and geological formations and such, you know. No. No people made these clothes on me, for example. These are clearly the results of erosion. Wind and rain eroded the sandstone around me and just incidentally happens to look like clothing. It's pareidolia. Pareidolia is, of course, the tendency to look at things and think that they look like doilies. Oh my God, Judy. You say everything looks like a doily. I suffer from pareidolia, so just take it easy on me. It's not pronounced pareidolia. It's pronounced pareidolia. That's the same. It's not, though. And that's a hypothetical conversation between two people who think that if you think things look like doilies, you're suffering from a disease called pareidolia. One of them not quite getting it, the other one totally not getting it. Of course, if I were to put that prompt into an AI, it wouldn't generate anything of any value at all. No, it would not. When AI does a good job, it's because you've done a good job of engaging it, right? You've done a good job of asking the right questions, of working it. Sometimes search can be like that. You have to work the search a bit, but it's much less so than it used to be. But AI is still very much like that. It'll probably get less like that over time. But who knows? After all, what good is an artificial intelligence when you can listen to a real one talking to you right now in real words that aren't just purposed to sound like real words, but to actually communicate real meaning that's worth consuming because of its correctness? No AI is going to give you that. No. Also because of its just personality, its joie de vivre. Joie de vivre. Joie de vivre. How many of you guys have joie de vivre? Any of you? Many of you? All of you? If you don't have joie de vivre, do you have je ne sais quoi? It's a fine alternative to joie de vivre. Does the women in Nepal think kindly of white foreigners? No, they don't. You mean white devils? All of the Nepalese mothers tell their Nepalese daughters, whatever you do, don't go near a white devil. They'll defile your Nepalese purity with their Western European materialist way. You know, they say all the worst of history's horrors can be laid at the feet, blame can be laid at the feet of the white man's penis. Before, we had a happy, peaceful time with lots of gold and wonderful drugs. Then the white man's penis came and ruined everything. That's an old Nepalese folktale. Not a very popular one, understandably. Okay. I think I'm about ready to wrap this up. I want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart with all of my enthusiasm for being here. Thank you, and you, and also you. Plus you, and you. That should cover all 9 of you. You can figure out which you would apply to you. And again, thank you for being here. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.